Hi everyone, welcome to this Soul Care Christian Counseling Wellness Workshop. My name is Anita. I'm an associate therapist here at Soul Care, and I will be your host for our workshop of the day called Art Therapy, A Path to Healing. I'm really excited about it, so I want to encourage you to stick through till the end. Let's get started. So this workshop will take place in two parts. We're going to start with an introduction of soul care. It's going to be pretty brief. And then we're going to also get into the art therapy itself. So it's really about understanding the basics before we begin, then moving into the artwork and creative activity. Okay, so you see up there on the screen just a brief summary, the intro, a little bit of a workshop agenda, and then more of the art therapy portion towards the end. So here at Soul Care Christian Counseling, it was founded by Jessica Robinson Grant. She is our clinical director, and it was really founded due to a gap that she recognized as it relates to faith, mental health, and the Black community, Black believers. So the framework we use is trauma-informed, and it is rooted in scripture and rooted in Afrocentric principles. So we have five main pillars for us being spiritual care, mindfulness, body care, self-love and acceptance, and then community. And, our approach to therapy is guided by these five key pillars. While our work often incorporates this Christian perspective, we recognize and honor the diverse beliefs and experiences of everyone we work with. And so for us, spirituality, whether through faith or a broader sense of the soul, it represents the core of who we are, and it deeply influences our journey towards healing, towards self-discovery. And so where art therapy is concerned, it can definitely be a powerful tool in exploring these pillars, offering a creative and expressive way to connect with our physical, mental, social, and spiritual selves, and to foster that self-love and acceptance in that process. So we welcome all perspectives and focus on really what resonates with you personally. Okay? So, our workshop agenda, we're going to cover a bit of community and care and housekeeping rules, so to speak, just to keep the flow going. And then we're going to get into the intro of the topic, the creative prompt, reflection and sharing, where I'm going to open it up to you all to unmute yourselves. For those who want to share, turn on your cameras to showcase your creations, if you so desire, and then we'll close up with some questions. So you see the community of care and housekeeping up on the screen. Really, what it's saying in a nutshell is that we're going to use that chat box for any questions throughout the workshop. However, during the reflection, as I mentioned, in the sharing segment, I'm going to have you, those of you who are interested, come out and speak, turn your microphones on, turn your video on, share, if you so desire. So, what is art therapy? The definition of art therapy is that it's a form of psychotherapy that uses art media as its primary mode of communication, right? And so there are key components involved, right? Combining traditional psychotherapy theories and techniques with an understanding of psychological aspects of the creative process. And it's historically backed, right, and recognized as a formal therapeutic process in the early 20th century, has influences in Freud, Jung, and the humanistic approach, and was really coined by Margaret Naumburg, hope I'm saying her name right, often considered the mother of art therapy, and Edith Kramer, who emphasized the importance of the creative process in healing. So there's a difference between art therapy and therapy as art. So art therapy is really conducted by a trained art therapist, right? It's focusing on that therapy piece as well as using art making to explore feelings, reconcile emotional conflict, and foster self-awareness, manage behavior, and so on and so forth. Then there is art as therapy, which is really, it really englobes all artistic activities that can be therapeutic, such as cooking, such as making music, writing poetry, right? Many of us, we do these things without even fully realizing it. So therapy as art or art as therapy, they do go hand in hand, but they are different. So the steps involved in art therapy, it involves creating art, right? So using various materials and techniques, and then a therapeutic interaction as well, right? So reflecting on the artwork, discussing thoughts and feelings that arise, and the dialogue between the client and the therapist to deepen understanding. And there are huge benefits to this. It helps to enhance self-expression, improve self-esteem, resolve conflicts and problems, and really develop interpersonal skills, right? Where words are sometimes not enough to express. Art can be kind of a channel into gaining understanding and then finding the language that matches, right? And so benefits, there are emotional and psychological benefits, stress reduction, anxiety management, management of symptoms of depression as well. And it's really a safe outlet, right? Sometimes we come to develop unhealthy outlets. And so art is a really safe and healthy outlet for emotional and psychological troubles. There are also cognitive and physical benefits to art therapy. It improves cognitive functions. It improves and enhances fine motor skills, right? When we're thinking about drawing or finger painting, it can even aid in pain management for people who have arthritis, for people who have muscle tensions and body aches. Art therapy can definitely come to soothe and to heal a lot of these pains. Now, there are also social benefits to this. It builds self-awareness and interpersonal skills, as we kind of mentioned earlier, and encourages positive social interactions altogether. And so many people can benefit from art therapy, right? Common misconceptions include that, it's only for people with PTSD, or it's only for people with learning disabilities and things like that. But no, art therapy can definitely benefit a widespread range of populations, including children and adults, adolescents and the elderly, individuals with mental health issues, trauma survivors, people with chronic illnesses, groups, right? It's a great way to go about group therapy. Families and communities can all benefit from art therapy. And other misconceptions include that you need to be artistically skilled and talented in order to take part in art therapy. And that's simply not true. Anyone with any level of creativity or expression, from the beginner level to the advanced level, can take part in art therapy and learn so much about themselves and about the world through it. And so art therapy is not about creating a masterpiece. It's about expression, and it's about the process, right? And it's not only for those with severe issues. It can benefit anyone looking for self-exploration and emotional healing. And then that last common misconception is that art therapy is not real therapy. It is very much so real therapy. I myself have an art therapist. I see an art therapist, and this stuff is real. It's also an evidence based practice that is scientifically proven to reduce stress, manage symptoms, improve cognitive function, and enhance interpersonal skills. All the things that we mentioned, it's very much backed by science. All right, so with that being said, we are going to go ahead and get into our creative prompt. I want to give you 5 minutes to gather your supplies, your art supplies. If you are watching the playback of this, you may want to pause for a moment, pause the recording, step away, grab your things, your paper, your pencils, your markers, your magazines, your scissors, your glue, your tape, whatever you're going to be using. Go ahead and take some time to gather it, and then we shall reconvene in just a moment.
Awesome. So is everybody ready to move forward with the creative prompt? Let me know if everyone's ready. You can just message in the chat so that I know to move on or not. Just want to make sure you have your supplies ready in front of you. Cool. Thanks, Ania. Awesome. So, for this workshop, the seeing as the title is a path to healing, the theme that we're focusing on is really on the topic of healing and what that means to you. And so, the idea is that we're going to create a visual journal page around the general theme of healing in this season of your life. All right. And so consider your personal journey of healing, what healing means to you, how you are experiencing it right now, and allow yourself to tap into your thoughts and feelings and give yourself permission to express them visually through your artwork. And so before we get started, we really want to start, like I said, by practicing mindfulness. We were going to enter into a little bit of a mindful moment in order to help ourselves center and to really bring what we feel inside outside and onto the paper or onto the canvas. So we're going to set the intention. I want to invite everyone to center themselves right now. Sorry about that. To center themselves right now and to maybe take a couple of deep breaths, a few deep breaths, inhale and exhale. And if you need to, you can close your eyes as well and think about what healing means to you in this season of your life, right? Um, I want to encourage you to really reflect on any emotions or images or symbols that come to mind when you think about healing in this season of your life. Okay. And so I'm going to give you a few minutes just to take that in and to lean in as well and get a little more familiar with where you're at right now, um, what healing looks like, what healing doesn't look like, and how you've been healing lately. Okay. And so to that effect, I'm gonna walk you through this a little bit with some instructions for the activity. And so on your paper or on your canvas, start by drawing or painting a background, right? This could be a wash of color, this could be a simple pattern, or anything that really sets the stage for your visual journal today. And I'm going to demonstrate. I'm going to share my iPad screen. If you happen not to have, pen and paper or pencil or canvas, whatever the case may be, you can also use some drawing apps that are available through Apple or Android. Or if you're on a computer, on your computer, some free ones include GIMP for PC or Mac users. Um, Sketchbook is another one that I believe has a free trial. This is on Android or on Apple devices. I today will be using Procreate. It's not free, but it is available on iPad if ever anyone's using an iPad. Awesome. Can everyone see this?
Is it possible to make the presentation like bigger? Because I see it like very small and I see you on the side. Like, is it possible to put
Mm.
full screen?
Yeah, let's see. Is this better?
Yeah, thank you.
No problem at all. Okay, so whoopsies. Here we go. So I'm going to demonstrate really quickly. If you happen to be using, for example, a pencil or a pen, you can start with simple patterns of shading, or sorry, simple patterns or shading to create your background. So that might look like, hold on, let me see here. What size am I using? Yeah, so that might look like some waves maybe. So you can start up in a corner, get into some waves, some swirls. Any repetitive pattern that for you is calming and that tells a bit of a story. And like I said, it does not have to be perfect. So we're really just going with the flow here. This does not have to be your best artwork at all. Anything that speaks to you and that tells your story. It could look like some cross stitching as well, in the corner, kind of just bleeding into your canvas. And it could also just be a simple frame, right? If you just wanted to frame your artwork by a bit of a square, rectangle situation, that's cool too. Anything that really provides structure and speaks to where you feel you're at right now, okay? And so from there, we want to begin to really, again, express what healing looks like to you. So you can start by drawing symbols or shapes, or abstract design that represent what healing is to you. Maybe, and if you got like, if you're using colored pencils, for example, maybe there's a tree in your healing journey. Maybe you're in a season where for you, healing really feels like a bit of a natural process. And so you're going back to, you know, a garden or nature. And if that speaks to you, you might start with a tree. You might start with some grass. You might start with a sun, some flowers, whatever the case may be. You might have some leaves on this tree. Guys, this is not Van Gogh or Picasso here. This is really just therapy, okay? So just go with the flow. You might have a tree in your corner looking a little like this. That tree might have some orange in it. Maybe it's fall. Maybe you're in a season where you are purging, right? And you are shedding and before your next season of renewal. And so that might look like a little bit of orange in your tree, a little bit of yellow in your tree, right? And there might be some leaves falling off of your tree. So you could draw a few leaves just coming off the tree and falling to the ground, right? you might have some words as well that you associate with your season of healing. And so you could begin to write those into your visual journal as well. Maybe the word growth comes to mind. Maybe the word peace comes to mind. So we could place peace somewhere here. Okay. And I want to encourage you all to really just, as you're drawing this out, consider what does it look like to you to heal, and how do you feel when you think about healing? What are some of those symbols, those colors that speak to you when it comes to healing? Right? And so from here, as you're creating your artwork, begin to layer and detail as I've kind of started here. Maybe you've started drawing and you want to go over it with paints after that, right? Because our process of healing, our seasons of healing, they're not one-dimensional, they're layered. And so you can represent that as well through your artwork. Maybe you've got some markers that can help to enhance some of the saturations and the colors that you've got going on. So I'm gonna give you guys a good 5 to 10 minutes to just create uninterrupted. I'm gonna mute myself, and I'm also gonna do my own thing. This was a demonstration, but this is not necessarily where I want to take the exercise for myself. And so I'm gonna get into some paints, and I'm going to yeah, I'm gonna create a little bit as well, and I'll share my artwork with you at the end. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the chat as well, okay? Awesome. How is everybody doing? How is your artwork progressing? Do you feel you need more time? Are we ready to begin to share and to reflect? What I'll do is that I think I'll give everybody some time to finish things up, add some final touches. Um, Look at your artwork, add anything that you feel you want to highlight, anything you want to define in certain areas, and writing a few words of reflection or phrases on the page. If you need to do it aside, that's okay as well. And then we can maybe utilize this time of final touches as a reflective moment before we move into sharing in the next 2 to 3 minutes. Okay? So I'll give everyone 2 to 3 minutes to add final touches, reflect, and then we'll move into sharing if you so desire. It's not a necessity. Lovely. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to invite anyone who wants to share um, any of the reflections, their artwork, to come on camera, unmute themselves, show us your work, and talk to us a little bit about where this all was rooted for you and how the process of bringing it out and externalizing it onto your paper, your canvas, how that was for you. So I'm gonna go ahead and share, and I'll break the ice. I'll start. Let's see here. Right. So let me know if you're seeing this. This is my visual journal of sorts, and for me, my healing process has not been linear, as most aren't. And so in the middle, for me, I started with the color purple, a deep purple that represents passion for me. Um, Perfect. That represents passion for me. And it moves into a bit more of a pale blue because I entered into a season of just a bit of a gray area regarding my passions, regarding my arts and my the things that I love to do. And I think I equate that a little bit to, for those of you who know me in the chat, becoming a mom, kind of losing yourself in that. And yeah, struggling to find your ground a little bit. So got to a bit of a grayish area where I wasn't quite sure, and fear of the unknown and fear of uncertainty was settling in a little bit for me. Thereafter, I picked up a green color, which for me represents hope, represents growth as well. And yeah, that kind of, I was able to tap into, whoopsie daisy. I was able to tap into some hope that ultimately cultivated and reignited the passion in me. So that's where that orange is coming in. That orange is that reignition for me of my passions. And this time the passions are coming back. They're different than when I initially had felt them in that purple area. Now it's more pink, it's a little warmer, and it's a little brighter. And it just, how I was expressing my passions before looks different today, and I'm okay with that. I'm learning to be okay with that, and I'm loving that. So that's a little bit about my visual journal for today and my healing process. And so I see that we have someone who's open and willing to share. I will unshare my screen. And I want to invite you to come on camera if you're comfortable, or yeah, come off mute if you're comfortable.
Hello, my name is Jenna Lee. I go by Jenna. Sorry, my voice is kind of going a bit. Hopefully you guys can, let me see if I can turn my camera around. Or is that even a thing? Maybe not. Let's see. Can you guys see my pencil drawing?
I see it. Yes, I do.
Okay. So for me, I drew clouds. I drew a happy sun. In the bottom right corner, I drew the moon and sleep. So for me, healing looks like a breath of fresh air. My process is trying to find relaxation because I'm constantly in survival mode and trying to overcome my past traumas and things like that. So for me, I'm trying to transition from being on the run and just finding that balance between peace and relaxation. So I drew like a sky to represent like a breath of fresh air and like a moment of pause, if you will.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing, Jenna Lee. That is beautiful. And your artwork is also beautiful. Um, and I
You.
love that really it emphasized exactly what art therapy is all about. It's that self-expression and that personal reflection. So this is evidently a piece that's very personal to you, and very symbolic of your journey, right? Thank you so much for sharing. That's awesome. Awesome. Does anyone else want to share? Okay.
I don't mind sharing, but it does so much noise on my end. But
That's
I
okay. You
I
can
didn't
type
finish.
it if you want.
Sorry.
You can type it if you want to, if that's better, and then I can read it out loud.
Okay, I'm just gonna show quickly what I have.
Sure.
Like, how do I turn my camera? Yeah, hold on. How do I turn my camera? Oh my god.
I just turned my phone around because there's no way
Oh,
to really.
oh, okay. This is kind of,
Mm-hmm.
you see it?
Yeah.
What I have not really done, but like this is like a spiral. There's like a sun here in the corner, and there's like a road, a road that leads to that orange thing over there,
Mm.
but it's not really done. But it's kind of like, I feel this ray of sunshine in my life, but at the same time, there's like, the spiral that just keeps turning, and you feel like you don't really know where you're going or what you're doing, or just feel like things are not getting better. And but at the same time, the spiral is on a roadway that leads into something better. So that kind of gives hope that you will get there one day, but don't know exactly when, but
Mm-hmm.
I know it will get there.
I love it. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And I think your piece is super indicative of art therapy and the process that it is, and then B, healing in the process that is, right? And finding yourself somewhere and not knowing where it's leading, but trusting the process and trusting, um, that you will reach your destination, right? Thank you so much for sharing that. Um, Thank you guys so much for participating, for being here, for being vulnerable, for opening up and sharing your art as well. It's not easy. We're all strangers in here. And so that really means a lot. And I'm sure that your artwork touched somebody today in one way or another. And I hope this workshop was helpful for you in one way or another. Does anyone have any questions for me about art therapy, about soul care? The floor is yours. Thank you all. I see the thank yous in the chat. Thank you all. I have to extend that back your way because I'm really, truly grateful for your participation and your openness to, trying out art therapy. I know it's unconventional, it's different, but it's truly, truly special and it holds a special place in my heart. So I'm happy to share that with you guys. And so with that being said, again, thank you, thank you. If you have any questions that you want to send our way to the Soul Care Counselor email inbox, you can definitely take note of this email address here in front of you. And will there be more art therapy sessions? There will. I can definitely, as a therapist here at Soul Care, I can definitely bring that to the therapeutic space. And so feel free to book a consultation with me and we can take it from there, incorporate it into our therapy journey. And there will also be more art therapy workshops at large in a few months to come. So keep an eye out for that. Follow us on Instagram or on TikTok, where we'll be sharing when those will be coming out. And we have monthly workshops each and every month on various different topics, on trauma, on, attachment styles, on burnout, right? On Blackness. So the list goes on and on. We really want to give you guys value and tools to thrive in this life. Okay. Awesome. If your artwork is not finished, that is a-okay. This was really just like a fast track kind of introduction to art therapy. So definitely take your art pieces, meditate on them, continue to work on them. Just like life, it's a work in progress. And so, yeah, I'm glad that you were able to start it today and you can always finish it another day at another time. Or you may never finish it because that's kind of the beauty of art as well. We're always adding and tweaking and learning and growing. So thank you guys. Have a blessed rest of your weekend. Have a blessed Saturday. And we will be in touch.